whenever you're ready. Hi, I'm Joe Compton, and I'm reading for the part of Detective Charles Street. Great, go for it. No. Okay, thanks. Great. Thank you. We're done. Okay, okay. You sure I can keep going? I can do it better. I can do it differently. Do you want me to say? No, no, that was great. That was great. Please, please, that was
Oh,
great.
okay.
Uh, Thank you for your time. You have my agent's number, right? Well, we have your information. We'll call you. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Compton, and I am the owner and um, creator of GoIndieNow, which is an online platform that fosters, highlights, and supports indie artists of all art forms. And I am also an author, and that's what we're going to talk about today. My book, The Crime Thriller Amongst the Killing, as I cast my book. This is a tag that was originally created by J.B. Taylor, who I was tagged by in this tag. I will post his original video in the YouTube description below. He did a great job casting his, and hopefully, I can follow suit with casting my book. Um, I want to preface this by saying that this is, of course, a dream scenario. This is, of course, if I was casting it within my own head. Um, having made movies and know what it takes to make movies, I would probably say that I would not probably have any of these people to cast, but I uh, I can dream, I guess, and here is the dream cast for me. This will help you give a little insight to the characters, I think, a little bit too, and kind of give you an idea of who I was thinking of when I wrote it or polished it up or read it for the 500th time. Um, the images that popped into my head of the characters who are involved in this. So, with that being said, let's cast my book, shall we? We're going to start with the protagonist and antagonist, who are the mainstays of this book because they're the ones telling you the story. They are literally the storytellers. They are. This book is a dual perspective, so each one takes a turn telling a chapter of this story of the two of them and their cat and mouse game. And so we start with the protagonist, which is Detective Charles Street. And for Detective Charles Street, I envision James McAvoy, who you all probably know as the younger Professor X. He was in the X Men First Class, X Men Days of Future Past, and the recently X Men Apocalypse. He's done a ton of other films, especially in Across the Pond. I believe that he's a Scottish actor, but I've seen him do American movies before, and I think he can pull that off pretty well. So I think he would not have a hard time with this role. It's the perfect role for him because he has he has those moments where he kind of shakes and then kind of explodes, and then he can also harness it back in. He also has that intelligence quip about him. You know that little thing, that twinkle in his eye that just tells you he's a little bit smarter than everybody else. And I think that that's what this role requires, and I think that he can, make that work and within his process. So the antagonist is Jack Casey, of course, and for that role, I have cast Liv Shriver. Liv is a explosive actor who can really show you that he can lose his shit on a dime and show you how much reserve he has and how much he holds it in and how he can be silent but deadly, with a look. And he's very good at giving you looks and staring you down and wearing you out with his eyes. And I think that is something that Jack Casey is really renowned for. Jack Casey is an intellectual for the most part, and uses a lot of his brain power, and I think Lev can portray that pretty well. And he also moves with purpose. Everything he does, everything Jack Casey does, whether thinking, talking, moving, it's all planned in his head. It's all premeditated, and so uh, you kind of get that sometimes. There's a particular character that Love plays on Showtime called Ray Donovan, and that's very much how Ray Donovan is. You know, and I think that's where him and Jack Casey are very similar in personality. I think in that respect, they're not same morally, but you know they do tend to bend both ways in morality and in that respect as well. So I think he would be perfect for the role. Now to play his wife, Pam Casey, yeah, I was looking at somebody who was a little bit frazzled, a little bit scatterbrained, but also was very cunning, very passionate. And when I think of that, I think of this movie called Frances Ha, which was this little independent film about a gal who's just trying to make it as a dancer in New York. And that was written and portrayed by Greta Gerwig. Greta is somebody who's very popular on the internet. She's a big YouTuber, and she also is very big in the New York film scene. She's a very good indie actress, and I think she would pull off Pam Casey very, very easily. For Tamara Street, I went a different route. I went an opposite direction, and that is that I picked somebody who I think could challenge the role a little bit more. I think Tamara needs to have a little something that is, part Stepford wife, but also um, part uh, almost kind of not demonic, but on the cusp of being kind of so ethereal that she can't be real, And I picked Stevie Nelson to portray this role. Stevie Nelson does a show on YouTube. She has a YouTube channel called Live Prude Girls with Melanie Yurtab, who most of you would know her from the AT&T commercials. Um, she's also a comedian, and she's done a lot of shows as well. Stevie is a comedian who has also been in a lot of shows. She was recently in New Girl just a couple years ago. I think she was one of the guys' girlfriends for a whole season. But Stevie is somebody who I think could pull that off. She's got the look, she's got the demeanor, and I think she would add something that character might be missing from the book into the movie. For Detective Harry Larisberg, I picked John Hawkes. And John, if you don't know who John Hawkes is, if you've never seen a movie called Winter's Bone, you need to go and check it out. And no, it's not a porno. It is the movie that put Jennifer Lawrence on the map. Actually, it was the thing that she was recognized for, Academy Award. John Hawkes was also recognized in that movie, and he's a great actor. He's got great range, and this character is kind of also a little scatterbrained, but also very has a timid factor to him. And Hawkes has played timid characters before. I've seen him play that, and he's got the quivering lip and the the scattered brain logic that escapes you when you get stressed and terrified. He's very good at those roles, and I think he would knock this one out of the park. For Captain James, I went with a brooding, strong African American named Wendell Pierce. If any of you are Suits fans, you would know Wendell pretty easily. He is Robert Zane. Um, if you've never seen that show, he's been in a ton of movies. He's the quintessential guy that you go, oh, I know that guy. Where do I know that guy from? What movie was that guy in? And he's been in everything. So Wendell is got one of those brooding voices. He's commanding, and Captain James is very much that as well. And I think that he would lend himself to that very well. For Marshall Janelle Panchenko, this one I had the hardest time with trying to cast, because she's got to be young, she's got to be sharp, and she's got to be fierce, and um, you know, I would, because it's the generational thing. Chloe 70 is the first name that popped into my head and the first image that I have. But I think she's got to be a little bit stronger like that. I think Emily Clark or somebody of that ilk would play, this character a little bit, just have a little bit more, youth first and vitality, because Chloe 70 is my age, and she did. Well, she's older, but she's not that much older. So she's got to be in her mid 30s. And not to say that Chloe 70 is not beautiful and could not pull off mid 30s, but um, I am, I guess, kind of saying that. But Emily Clark is probably the one I would go with. Again, another British actress that, or is she Australian? I'm not sure. Uh, but she would probably be the strong type that I would play it off. But then, I could also go like a Bryce Dallas Howard. I think she could pull this off too. She's dude, that fiery redhead. In fact, I would go Bryce Dallas Howard. Emily Clark, you just got fired. You've been fired. Um, but yeah, that was a really bad impression. Sorry. But I'm gonna go Bryce Dallas Howard. I don't know why I didn't think of that right off the bat. Of course, everybody should know Bryce Dallas Howard. She's the woman getting lambasted on the internet for running in heels during the Jurassic World movie. Um, and she was in a ton of great films. She's of course the daughter of Ron Howard, um, and I think she would be awesome. All right, I just casted the mains. There's a ton of one-off characters and incidental characters and ancillary characters that really don't have a lot of depth and a lot of um, focus. I would probably cast all my friends in those roles, all my actor friends, and that's basically the cast of Amongst the Killing. If Joe Compton was sans budget, sans responsibility, sans everything. If I had carte blanche and did this movie the way that my brain would want it to be made, I don't, and quite frankly, I don't know how anybody could make this a movie. And I'm okay with that. I'm very okay with that. My book, it was a screenplay. It started as a screenplay, and I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't get it to go from A to B to C, A to P, A to B to C, and it just right. Um, and it just didn't flow for me that way. And I wanted to ex- expand the universe and talk a little bit more, talk in a voice that wasn't just me writing stereo instructions, which sometimes a screenplay can become. There are some really great, passionate, and beautiful literary screenplays, but this one was very plastic to me, and it didn't sing like the novel did. And so I took on the novel idea, and I'm very happy with where it was and where it's landed, and I'm very satisfied that I've completed that journey. I do have more to tell these characters and their stories, but I do also know that it is not, it's, while it's related to Amongst the Killing, it's not directly the same. It's not the same story over told, or told from a different way. This story has been told, and I'm very happy with where it went. All right, so there you go. I hope I did this tag justice. I don't uh, I don't plan on tagging anybody else, but as always, I say feel free to um, do this tag. Actually, you know what? I'm going to tag some people. Let's tag some people. You know what? I'd like to see Shane Wilson uh, cast his book. I'd like to see Sunshine Somerville cast the Coda series. Ooh, yeah! Come on, Sunshine. Let's see you cast yours. And of course, Christie Stratos, Anatomy of a Darkened Heart. let me hear what you come up with. Who do you think should play Abigail? Ooh, I'm really excited about that one. So get to it, guys. Do the video. Let's do it. All right. Thanks, JB, for tagging me. His channel is leads that video leads directly to his channel. So subscribe to his channel, like and comment on his video, and we'll see you tomorrow with another video. All right, everybody. Remember, it's always time to go indie now.
Hey, thanks a lot for watching our latest episode of our show. I hope you're enjoying what you're watching. And if you are, it would be really great if you could please like the video, share it, comment. It really helps us out. It gets us seen. It gets all these indie artists seen. And it's really an important thing for the YouTube community. So please, definitely like, share, comment the video that you just watched and any video that we produce. We always welcome feedback, and we always welcome uh, the community to share what we're doing. It's really awesome, and that you guys are a part of this and helping us out. Also, please, if you see something you like or you think that's interesting, or you listen to an interview and you want to learn more about that person, go to our website. Our website link is going to be right here on this video. So check it out and go and patronize these great indie artists. Go buy their stuff. We have all the links to everything you could buy from them on our website. You can also go to their website and sign up for their newsletters, sign up for their blogs, and help get the word out about all of them. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.